Now we're going to cook the tenderloin, short loin. This is the finest, softest, most tender of all the parts of the animal, and really should be treated with the exquisite care that it deserves, as it is the most exquisite part of the animal as well. You don't need to do a lot to this in order to have a really excellent result. So it's made up of one long piece, then you have what we would call the head on top, and we do have a bit of silver skin here along the side. So we're just going to take the head off. We can just fold it open, and if you look, you can just peel it off, and we're left with a piece like this, and then our tenderloin in its whole piece just there. So we just take that off, and then you'll see we have this long, beautiful, very, very soft piece of New Zealand venison. Same again, farm raised, pasture fed, free range, no hormones, no antibiotics, no steroids. None of these things in New Zealand are allowed. So we've got this just fantastic product that's essentially just an absorption of all that is good about New Zealand into an animal, and then we export it to you to enjoy. So aren't you lucky? Now then, we're just going to take off that bit of silver skin there. You can just pull that off, and then we're left with this wonderful clean piece of meat. I'm just going to take those sharp edges off just for the dish that we're doing, and we don't need those thin ends. We're going to make a tataki, just essentially a very short, sharp, hot in the pan Japanese style carpaccio, but not one that we then freeze or cool down and then slice thinly. It's a lot faster, a lot easier to serve, a lot quicker to serve, essentially. And suits this really well because, you know, we just have to sear it in the pan and rest it a little, and we're going to have the most beautiful, tender piece of New Zealand venison that we will have tried the whole day. We've saved the best till last, apart from the donuts, because they're awesome, but this is really, really something. So we'll just pop it on the plate there. We're going to oil it. And as I say, the more exquisite, the more tender, the more high quality the meat is, the less you generally have to do with it. You know, it's not something that you have to slow cook for a long time or treat, you know, in any special way. Really just a bit of heat in the pan, out of the pan, and you're going to have a fantastic, fantastic meal. So we've got a mixture here of lemongrass, ginger, chili. We're going to put that on liberally, and we're going to roll it around in there, and a bit of sesame. And then we're just going to make sure the meat's got a good covering of that on all sides. Get our pan nice and hot. We've got our resting tray ready to go, and then we're all good. So this is something you can do on the barbecue as well, of course. This is a really fantastic spring flavors, really fresh and light and quick and easy to serve. Certainly something you could wow your guests with. So we'll just pop those in the pan, check that it's hot, listen for the sish. That's what we're looking for. We want that sound when we put something in the pan. Just going to add a little bit of extra oil. Already getting those flavors from the chili, from the lemongrass, and from the ginger. So we want it to be really hot, the pan, and just short and sharp on each side. So give it color, but it is a dish that is generally raw on the inside. It's like medium rare. It's rare, really. So really hot. Get all those spices cooked off. Get all of the sesames toasted. Make sure everything's got good color. Don't be afraid to use a little bit of extra oil. And here we have a bit of soy sauce, a bit of mirin. And here we have some cucumbers. They've been salted, get a bit of the moisture out of them. And pop that up there. That's just packed with flavor. We'll chuck the cucumbers in. Add just a little bit more of your lemongrass mix. A little bit of oil. We're not cooking the cucumbers, we're just flashing them in the pan. Soy sauce. Just let it all coat those cucumbers, reduce a little bit, and then we're done. Add some chopped cashew nuts. And there we have some just sauteed. Let's see if we can get a few of those cashew nuts in there and a bit of the sauce. And then you'll see the tenderloin is very raw. That's fine. That's exactly what we want. That's how Tataki is supposed to be. It's a raw meat dish. Just sear it off really hot on the outside, raw on the inside. We'll just place those in there. And that's just another example of how we can use New Zealand venison in a different way. It's not a wild game. We can eat it raw if we want to. We can keep it medium. We can enjoy it in so many different ways that we couldn't normally maybe do if we had a wild game, because we would be worried about picking up some kind of disease or bacteria or something. Stand up a couple of those in there. Just top it off with a bit of spring onion. And there you have a really quick, fast barbecue dish. Shows off all the best qualities of New Zealand venison. The fact that it's got this wonderful clean flavor profile, that it's so tender, it's so soft, that we can just put it in the pan, take it out. We can pair it with all kinds of flavors. We can pair it with Japanese flavors, with Asian flavors, with American, whatever you feel like doing, Italian, and it's just going to work well. It's like someone you can take to any party. They always have a good time. So that's why we can do a dish like that. Quick, simple, easy, and delicious.